to another episode of the Team-Stirr Show. Welcome again. Welcome. Thank you all for. Thank you for the applause. Thank you for the crowd out there. Welcome to the Team-Stirr Show, aka Stewart Talk, aka Borges in the Bunker, aka Methods and Procedures with Daniel Borges, aka whatever you guys want to call it. But welcome again. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting. But give me a second. Let's get through these particulars and then we'll get started. So facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the members' best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are my own, Daniel Borges, and not necessarily represents my employer's positions, strategies, opinions, or views are shared and protected under the National Labor Relations Act. And let's go, everyone. God bless you all. Thank you. All right, so let's get started with this show. A lot's been going on since the last time I did post something, and that wasn't the greatest show. Yeah, I know I pissed a lot of people off in the last one, but I'm sorry guys, but it is what it is. Truth hurts. But yes. Before we get started, let me shout out the boys at 804, local 804. I heard that they had their election, and they won. So good for them. They got another 3 years in. I know ours is coming up soon, and of course ours should be this year. And like I told you guys before this episode, the last couple episodes, that it wasn't going to be my thing to run for president because of all the things that I was going through. So that kind of entails to where we're at today and what's going on. But shout out to those guys in 804. They had a couple of people run against them, and it's cool. That's what democracy is, dude. If you want to see change, if you see that there's something going on, then guess what? Step up and do something. You don't always have to keep always complaining. Just make valid points. Just don't complain for the sake of complaining. But we have our problems. We have a lot of problems here with our locals. So let me make a big shout out to our attorney, Ed. The union attorney who was involved in my case, who did an amazing job. He did made such a great compelling argument about how the company behaved itself in the whole process of what happened with me. And, he made them think otherwise. Make no mistake. Do not be confused. But this company tried to fire me. There is no doubt about it. Okay? Now, they tried to fire me. Try to get me to resign. Even our own people, because, I have a conversation one night before our hearing, and they're like, let's go in there and let's go win this case. And I'm like, okay, good attitude to have. But, I was preparing for other things. And, right after the company makes their statement and argument, makes their case, they're asking me, pretty much giving me the option to resign. And I was like, absolutely not. I was going to go down. Either I lost my job or I didn't, and it didn't happen. But we went through, and Ed made an amazing case on my behalf. He knows his stuff. If, God forbid, you ever get into my situation, you don't want to be there. Believe me, you don't. But Ed is an amazing guy to have. Now, as far as what happened with me, I'm not going to get into the details. I can tell you one thing and one thing only. There was no dishonesty on my part. There was nothing that I was doing maliciously to steal company time and to do the things that the company always accuses people of, because that's the only thing they can have to fire people. Let's find a way to fire some guy for dishonesty. And listen, you can make the argument that the perception of the mistakes that I made could have led to that. Someone could perceive it as that, and it's subjective. It really, really is. But at the end of the day, it was my responsibility. Did I have stuff going on? I absolutely did. I had a lot of stuff going on at home. Then coming to work to deal with the crap we deal with at work, and you don't realize that you're only human. So the nights weighed down on me, and it just became tough. Became really tough, to drive at night behind the road, long distance, and it just caught up to me. Now I had made changes, but unfortunately those changes didn't kick in right away, and it resulted to what it resulted to. But could they have done something better? And could they have done something to avoid all this? Yeah, they could have, but they didn't. They wanted me gone. Understand, this company doesn't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care about your well-being. They don't care about the public. They care about their stupid numbers and getting promoted as fast as possible and stuff like that. But you know what? There's a thing. Some people call it karma. I don't believe in karma. That's Hinduism. I'm a biblical person. I believe in Jesus, and there is such a thing that is called reaping and sowing. When you live your life that way, looking to see the downfall of people bring misery to others, that will come back on you. That will come back on you, and in many forms. You guys eventually become alcoholics because you leave this job, you leave with all this stress and all this anger, and you're drinking all the time, and you don't even realize it. Your home status at home will be broken up because you're bringing the work to home, and these are all things that everyone that took part in this and they thought this was my downfall was a funny thing. Don't worry about it. Life will deal with you. I don't have to, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to be bitter, and I'm not going to, whatchamacallit, I don't need to seek any revenge. The Lord will avenge me. But, listen, a lot of questions are asked. Was this because of the show? Yes, it was. Part of it was the show. They'll never come out and say it. Did they go as far as they did with me? Because, yeah, absolutely. But they don't want me educating you guys. Because of the grievances, because of the people I represent, because of the calling OSHA for unsafe, work environment that we have in these buildings in Meadowlands and in Edison and in Cranberry, calling the New York State Police, the DOT department that does the inspections, because there was a point in time when they were giving out these documents of the HUD sticker saying that you didn't need it. You just give them this form, this sheet that had nobody's name on it. Just giving you some instructions that you can do this. So instead of the whole doing something about it, they take it and they're like, okay, nothing to see here, whatever. I have to go to the New York State Police myself. I have to go to them myself, show them the letter. And they said that this letter's fraudulent. And of course, when I showed the email to the people who we pay to represent us, they decide to, then do something about it. And it's just nonsense. It's nonsense that we got to go through this. This local is weak. We are weak. We're extremely weak. The amount of people that are getting walked off, the silliness. And listen, my situation is my situation alone. I take full responsibility. Okay? I allow my situation to affect me at work. But guess what? That's the first and the last time that would ever happen. I'm coming back to work, a brand new man, brand new focus. Okay? With a passion and desire to do my job properly, of course, but to also stand up for my rights and the rights of others. So one of the problems that we're having, that I still get calls from people today is it's just the educating of our guys. We need to be educated on our rights, because these is our careers. These aren't jobs. These are our careers. We plan on being here for a long time. There's this saying that, the company hires you to then spend the rest of your career trying to fire you, which is pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. The harassment and everything that goes on here is just insane. It's out of control, or for overperformance, over unrealistic numbers. Okay, and there needs something needs to be done about it. So, like I said, don't be confused because of what happened to me is just a setback. You know, one of the things, the equipping that you guys need to understand, if something happens to you, if you go to the What the Heck show, it's the What the Heck show on YouTube, Union Power Radio. You know, he's one of the business agents who he was talking about when you go into one of these meetings and something happened, just say how it happened. Don't deny it. Don't lie. This is the foundation of how to not get into problems. Just if something happens, you admit it, you take the fall, you take the hit, but when you lie, it becomes a problem. So that's kind of one of the problems that the company had with me was there was nothing I lied about. I didn't lie to them about anything. They just wanted me out because they wanted me out, and they made whatever excuse to whatever. Okay? But I wasn't dishonest about anything. Had I been dishonest, it'd have been a different story. It'd have been a different story. Listen, understand two things. If you ever got to go into an arbitration, you're going to be there with a guy. Okay? The union has no control of him, neither does the company. The only two people to speak are the attorneys, and you will speak when you're spoken to. And that's it. It's like a court in a sense. But you're trying to win this guy's opinion. You're trying to win his favor and thinking that whatever you did wasn't wrong. So when Ed makes such an amazing case on my behalf, the only thing that I could do if I spoke up, I could have probably made it worse. And for some reason, I just said, you know what? Let me leave it as is. You know what? I may lose this battle, but I at least still have another chance to come back into the war. So understand that it's not a situation you want to get into, but if it is and you have no other choice, that's what it is. But know that we have an amazing attorney. So, you know, the thing that you have to do when you get in that office is something happened. Just say exactly how it happened. You may not know the details. Okay, I don't know. But if something happened, don't deny it. Don't deny it. Because you don't know if you got followed. They're using technologies. They're using all this place, and you guys got to be equipped. Listen, there has to be more people in this fight. You have to know your business. If you think you're going to come to work and act like I'm going to come to work, I'm going to mind my business, and nothing's going to happen to me, I'm sorry, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. It's like a sheep going into the slaughter. Okay? Because now they're getting better equipped and trained to how to deal with you guys, to deal with us, and more forms of harassment. And you guys have to know your rights. You have to know who your shop stewards are. If your shop stewards aren't doing their job, get rid of them. Don't vote them in. Get somebody else. One of the biggest problems is that Bayonne building. It's a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire. I got a call from one of those guys over there, and I'm like, listen, you got to call such and such person because I don't know who the hell's in there. And, you know, from what I understand, you know, what do they know? And it's like, it's a problem. It's a problem. We're good in Edison. We're good in Cranberry. But when it comes to the other buildings, you know, it is what it is. Parsippany, I know they got some solid guys in there. They do their thing. But, you know, Meadowlands and Bayonne is, you know, listen, it has to get better. You guys got to get more involved. You guys got to speak up. You got to, you know, go to the union meetings. I haven't been to them lately because there's a lot that I do. But understand one thing. I'm coming back. When I do come back, it's to handle business. Understand nothing that happened to me, you know, moves me. Okay? There's nothing to be afraid of. Stand up for your rights. Just because of what happened to me, I'm going to come to work scared. Scared of what? Scared of what? Are they going to try again? Yes, they are. But if I give it to them, then shame on me. Listen to me. Since 2016, I've been going to jails, county jails and prisons, you know, helping men to rehabilitate themselves with Bible studies and putting God in their life, you know. And then when that stopped, I went to, because of COVID, you know, I recently started going into the streets of Philadelphia and Kensington, you know, going out with people. There's a huge drug problem down there, helping them out with either security or talking to people to try to get them into rehabs. Okay? I go in those streets. I've been in county jails and prisons, okay? Especially in those streets in Philly. At any time, any of those drug dealers could put a bullet in my head. But I'm supposed to be afraid to come to work? To get, come on, please. What is it, white collar thugs? That's what I'm supposed to be afraid of? No, dude. There's no fear in here. You guys that want to criticize and say, "Oh, good for him," you guys don't got the intestinal fortitude to do what I do. You guys probably don't even file grievances, but you'll complain. You'll complain and you'll talk crap in secret and in the dark and stuff like that. But you guys don't be afraid. The fight isn't over. The fight has just begun. And we have to hold our people accountable. We do. Because there's way too much nonsense that goes on. Way too much nonsense that goes on. We are weak. We're not the same. Okay? And just because what happened doesn't mean the show's going to stop. And I'm not going to be an activist and trying to help guys learn their rights, because I'm going to. And this is why what happened to me happened, because I educate you guys and I want to help you guys. But you guys have to want it even more than I do. Listen, this is a long show. I'm going to end it in a few minutes. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything. Like I said, the harassment is like the uniform. It comes with the job. You just got to know how to do it. You got to know your rights. You got to know how to use that corporate number, And when the hall doesn't want to do something about something, I'm going to start learning how to go to the labor department myself. I'm going to start educating myself how I can take grievances to the labor department, and instead of just sitting around waiting and just, it's just nonsense. It's just a lot of crap that goes on. Violations are always going to happen. Yes, they are. But there needs to be something done when they do. And I just feel nothing's really being done. Supervisors working out of control. And, the layoffs and the amount of people that just getting walked off, from my understanding, is nonsense. It's amazing how, I got what I got, and then not too long after, a week after I'm gone, somebody gets into a little trouble, they're right back within the week. Don't tell me that none of this isn't because of me and because of the show. That's okay. That's okay. I'm a big boy. I'll deal with it. But you know what? Like I said, everyone who has something to do with this and thought that it was good to do what happened to me, life will deal with you. Life will deal with you. And I hope you think about me when that time comes. That thought of, oh, wow, this is what we did to Borges is happening to me now. But it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Listen, God bless this union. God bless America. God bless the working man. I pray that we get through this tough time. It's going to be another 3 years because there's not much that I can do. I have to take a time out for a little while. But, the other guys that I know that they're looking to do stuff, they're going to do it. They're going to run. They're going to, just show that it's not okay. It's not okay. The people that vote, the local and the guys that are in, is less than 1%. We have about 20,000 members, 19, something like that. And only like 1,000 people vote. And that's it. And that's it, man. That's it. It's not anything crazy, but we got to get more involved, guys. Got to get more involved. Got to get more involved. But listen, God bless you guys. God bless America. God bless this union. Everyone, please be safe. And I will see you all soon. The fight is not over. It's just begun, guys. Just begun. So just, work in confidence. Don't work in fear. And when something happens, just please, guys, just say what happened. That's it. If you remember. But everyone have a safe weekend. God bless and good night.